Well, hello, my jazzy friends. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're staying safe, and it's lovely to see you as always. A little while ago on stream, I took on the Rags to Riches challenge. I know there's quite a few variations of the rules and ideas and whatever, but mine was essentially set your money to zero, move into a lot, and get rich. I absolutely don't profess to be any kind of expert on this, but here's how my sim survived the challenge, and hopefully you'll find some of these tips helpful. First off, turn off your sim's autonomy in your game options. Otherwise, your sim will buy things and do things that might not necessarily be within the rules of the challenge, or it might spend your money up and you really don't want that. Put yourself in full control of your sim and their money. When you're ready, move your sim into the world. We picked to move into Bargain Bend. I'm not saying that's the only place that this could work, but for me personally, I thought it was a really good choice because it's populated. Like, Willow Creek is a populated area. There's lots of houses, there's lots of townies who are there already. There's this little area with like things to harvest from other people's gardens. There's a little fishing spot outside the back of the lot at Bargain Bend. I just felt like there was a lot going on and places that we could make money on our doorstep, so that's why we came here. You pick though. I would suggest though somewhere that already has quite a lot of people living there already and some greenery and things going on. Number 3 is to make use of the community lots. One of the rules of the challenge says not to go and edit community lots to make them to your advantage too much. For example, obviously you can't go and just build a mini house in the back of a park somewhere. But there are a lot of things there anyway that you can use to help your sim get by. We hung out in the Willow Creek Park probably for the first 6 or 7 days of the challenge. My sim used the toilet, there was areas where he could get shelter, he could wash his hands and brush his teeth here for hygiene, there's ottomans and there's benches for him to take a nap, and people would hang out in the day and he would talk to them and play chess with them to get his social up. And also there were plants and trees and there were places that he could eat fruits and veggies and stuff to get his hunger up as well. I don't think we would have survived the challenge had we not used this community lot to our advantage. Again, obviously there's different lots dotted around the world that you can use. You don't necessarily have to be in the Willow Creek Park, but I think using a community lot to survive is definitely the way to go. Kind of a continuation on the park, but here's the ways that I made money while we stayed there. First off, obviously fishing is a really good way to go, a really good way to get cash. It can take quite a while sometimes to get anything, and quite a bit of patience to get your skill up where your sim will actually catch something worthwhile. Sometimes it will also alert you that the fish in the area are too sneaky or too challenging for your sim, but as a whole, most of the time you'll catch kind of crappier fish, goldfish, whatever, small things, and work your way up to catching bigger things that get you more money. But as a general, fishing got me quite a lot of cash in this challenge. Digging was also a really, really good way to get some money from the park. There are little spots kind of scattered all over the park, and also just other areas in the world in general, of course, but you get random items from digging in these little spots. Sometimes it's something really, really good and worth a lot of money, sometimes it's absolute shite, but you can sell what you get for cash. Another instant moneymaker is to look for frogs. These kind of drain-looking things basically spawn around the park kind of randomly. If you find one, they're worth anything from kind of 10 simoleons to sometimes around 100 simoleons, depending on what you find. Obviously, it's dependent on you finding anything in order for you to make money from selling it, but if you do see those little drains pop up, then definitely dig for them and just see if you find anything, because it could give you quite a bit of money. My last real kind of way to make money just living off the land from the park is to harvest the flowers, the fruits and the veggies. John made a lot of money from this. If you wait for them to be glimmery, shimmery, Edward Cullen looking trees, that's when they're ready to harvest, so just go up to them and harvest all and then you can sell them from your inventory. I'm sure tip 5 seems a little bit like face-palmingly obvious, but tip 5 is put some usable items on your lot. Once you get to the 5,000 simoleons kind of mark, like that kind of area, it's a really good idea to head on home from the park and start putting some things on your lot that your sim can use, so you don't actually have to live in the park and you can live on your own residential lot. I say build things very, very loosely. It's definitely not a house because walls are expensive, but literally whack some usable items onto the grass and your sim will use them. Whether your sim is happy about peeing and showering completely out in the open is a different matter entirely, but they will use them so they can manage their needs. I just built a toilet, a shower, a little place to sleep, a desk and a PC, a bin and a grill, and I think that's really all that you need. Obviously you can make it look much, much nicer later on and section it off and do walls and whack on a nice painting or whatever. But for now, it's just about getting your sim back home to a place where they can earn money on their own doorstep. This is my last tip, and it's a little bit lengthy, so please bear with me. I don't suggest doing any of these things in the very, very initial stages of the challenge because you need more instant money. But once you do have a little bit of money and some things on your own lot, you need to start looking at getting something that is a more long-lasting money-making scheme. My sim decided to write books. We did it in the local library quite early on in the challenge, not the first days, but also he wrote them on his own lot once we got the desk and PC. He wrote children's books. In the very beginning, they were quite terrible, with titles like Help Me, I Live in a Park, and 50 Shades of Sleeping on a Bench. Obviously, you can title them as you wish, but writing books is a good way to make some money in a longer lasting way. It does take a while to get your skill up, so obviously it's not going to be great to start with. I think the first day of John's royalties were like 1 simoleon, so it was quite pitiful. This is why I say avoid doing it in the very beginning of the challenge, but as something that will evolve over time and get you more money as you go, it's definitely a good place to start. Another thing you can do is painting. Again, be careful if you do it very early on, because sometimes buying the stuff to do painting will cost you more than the painting will sell for because you're low skill. So just watch out for it. Again, I think it kind of evolves over time. You can also make apps and games or do other things on the PC like hacking that will give you money. Again, I feel like this is less of an instant cash grab, it's more of a slow burn because you have to get your skill up in order to do it. Once you do have your own kind of house, your own kind of space, and you're starting to build up, your possibilities open up a lot. You can sell bakery items to local bakeries, you could potentially save up some money and open a business, you can write books and just continue to live off the land, you could learn to knit and sell your knitting items and list things on Plopsy. There's a lot of possibilities. From this point, I feel like the challenge kind of gets a lot easier, so the direction that you choose from there onwards is probably going to do you just fine. My kind of honourable mention is something that I didn't do. My traits for my sim for this challenge were creative, ambitious, and loves the outdoors, because I thought that they would help him with making money, and I also thought loving the outdoors would come in handy because he was living in a park for a little bit. But I think it would be a good idea, if you're not concerned about the kind of character that your sim has. Obviously, if you're trying to be a super nice person and a super wholesome sim, then this is not going to work for you. But if you're not fussed, giving them the kleptomaniac trait and then making them go and visit other sims in the neighborhood will probably help you make some money too, because they're going to go and swipe objects. Obviously, then in turn, it will give you something else to sell. Like I say, obviously not a good idea for those who want like super wholesome sims, but if you're not concerned and you just want to do well in the challenge, then go forth and steal. Anyway, that's what I got. Like I say, from that point onwards, you have more doors open to you: gardening, fishing, books, baking, winning money in gaming tournaments, going on the lottery. There's lots of different bits and bobs, but these are the tips that really, really helped me get by. I hope this helped you some. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you go and smash Rags to Riches. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.